Hey guys, welcome to another video here on Lowry Farms. Thank you, Junior, for chiming in at the perfect time. We have finally gotten our rabbit enclosure complete, and I want to show you guys just a couple of videos on how we built it, some steps along the way, and then at the end of the video I'm going to go over some of the tweaks that we had to make and some of the headaches and hardships that we had to go through to get this thing to work. And it's still not perfect. We're still working on it and tweaking it, but it's to a point now where we can leave the rabbits in it and not worry about them getting out at least. So here we go. So to get started, I had to get digging because we wanted this trampoline frame to sit down into the ground, and we wanted to clear out about 6 inches of dirt so that we could lay down a dig barrier so that the rabbits couldn't dig out. And we're going to use that same cage wire, hardware cloth, whatever you call it, that we wrap around the sides on the bottom, and then bury it all and inset that trampoline frame into the ground, and that'll help keep the rabbits from digging out from under it. And I dug and dug and dug and dug. Oh, I hate digging. At least I do now. I will be happy if I never see a shovel again in my life. And this isn't, your standard, regular loose topsoil garden dirt. This is Alabama red clay, buddy. This stuff is hard. It is resilient to being chopped through and cut. So it is a pain in the butt to get all of this dug up by hand and shoveled out of the way, just to then turn around and shovel it right back on. And because of weather and events in the family and things of that nature, it took us a lot longer to get this done than we would have liked. It took us several months to fully complete this rabbit enclosure. And the digging itself probably took a good 2 weeks of that itself, just because we didn't have a whole lot of time to do it. We also had a visitor, another wild rabbit, that came by our enclosure while we were in the process of building it. Alright, so just a quick update. We've got a majority of the mesh down. The only thing I don't have is this one panel here that I've got to attach. And then we've got some excess to cut. We've got these joints we've got to weld up. And we've already kind of thrown in some of the dirt over here just to kind of get us started with what we've already got tacked down, just to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, working on multiple things at once. But we are getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, so we've gone in, I don't know how well you can see, there we go, and put JB weld along all of these joints. If you can't see it, it's because we're actually able to get these apart, run it around, and then put it back in, fully sealed. The ones where you can see, not there, yeah, like here, we actually weren't able to get it back out. So we basically had to just run it around the edge and try to get it in between the cracks as much as we could. A couple of them kept trying to pull apart because this is on uneven ground. So we tied a couple of bungee straps to a couple of them just to keep them from separating. So obviously it's going to take the JB weld 4 to 6 hours to harden or set, and then another 15 to 24 hours total to cure completely. So we got to wait for that to harden before we can start trying to put up the walls. We do have the floor finished. Finally got this other piece put down like it's supposed to be. Throwing some dirt on, getting that all covered up except for the edges. What we're going to do is we're going to take some more cage wire like this and run it all the way around 360 degrees to make the walls of this. And we're going to take those metal pipe straps, pipe clamps, whatever you call them, and run it through the bottom fence, through the side fence, and around the poles on the top and the bottom. Top and the bottom. And do that all the way around, secure it all the way around, and that'll be our walls up and done, and we can actually put the rabbits in here at that point while we work on getting the roof finished, which we're just going to do chicken wire on the top and do like a half tarp cover So they got sunshine on one side and cover on the other. That's a tentative idea, but we'll see how that goes. As you can see behind me here, we've got it dug out where we're going to put the burrows. We're going to have those boxes with 6-inch PVC pipe running to them. We're going to bury it all so that they've got a way to get in and out. Actually, we're not going to completely bury it. We're going to bury it to the top of the lid so that we can pull the lid off to get to the rabbits if we need to. And then we're going to take a tarp and run it from the top of this back there behind where the burrows are going to be, just to give them some rain cover so that they don't get super soaked and the ground doesn't get fully saturated around them and it flood them out, because that's our biggest worry, is flooding them out. But we're gonna put it in and give it a good test and see what happens. And here you can see my lovely wife slaving away, making sure that the top is secure as we get it on. And now we have finally gotten the top on this thing, got it secured. This is where we're gonna have the door. We're gonna build a little doorway that we can open and close here to get in and out of it. Still got to put the tubs in the ground with the tunnels to the burrows and get those buried and get holes cut in there for the rabbits to be able to get in and out. But this thing is finally looking like a pen and not just a trampoline frame. All right, so we have finally got one of the tubs in and the tarp put down so that they're covered from the rain. And what we've done is just taken some, this is 6-inch inner diameter PVC tubing, or pipe rather, that I've connected to a just a little plastic tote, sealed it with some caulking, and then sprayed some Flex Seal around it just to give it a little extra hold. We're going to bury these up to here, so we're not quite done yet, but we're at a point where we can get the rabbits in. And you can see there's one of them and there's the other one. We got a little patch of clover over there, if it'll focus, but that's a little patch of clover there. And we've got the band wrapped around the cage wire to secure this, all this to the cage itself. And we have bunnies in the cage.
Babies will join them in a moment.
Yep. My wife is getting the babies put in now. And we are all good to go. And so after a lot of hard work, a lot of trial and error, a lot of headache, a lot of heartache, we have finally got it done. We had to install a new tarp because the old one was, well, it was old. So it was falling apart on us. Let me turn the camera around. So we've got the tarp buried underneath here. We've got, let me go around the other side. You can see all 3 tubs are installed and buried. And so you can see we've got them clamped down and we've got bricks on them. And all 3 tubes have been buried and are running into the cage now. The reason we had to put these bricks and these clamps is because we woke up one morning to come out here and check on them and the lids were popped off and the rabbits were gone. Thank goodness they did not run far. They only ran to up under this storage building we have here up underneath there. And boy, we had a time running all over the yard trying to catch them. They were all over in here, up under the RV, all over the place. And it was a headache trying to wrangle rabbits. We are lucky that we got all of them back in. But man, I do not want to have to do that again. So we've got those on there to make sure that they don't jump out, and it's been working so far. I know we had originally said we were going to put the door over there on the side, but this actually works a lot better. So we just left this piece unattached going down the seam there, and we took a piece of conduit and just wrapped it around the conduit. And we close it like this, and then we've got these little carabiners that we clip on just like that. That way it can't get pulled open. So yeah, we have finally got our rabbit pen together. It's working well. The only issue is I need to figure out a better way to insulate those tubs, because even with it being buried underground and having that tarp over it, it's still not getting cool enough under there. There's maybe a 5-degree difference from outside in the pen than inside the burrows. So if you guys have any suggestions on what I can do to make the burrows cooler, because right now in the Alabama heat, this summer is so hot, we are actually having to take the rabbits every morning out of their enclosure, putting them into that brown storage building to keep them cool. And then at night, taking them out and putting them back in the enclosure where they can get some running and stuff in. And that's not optimal. So if you guys have any ideas on how I can make these burrows more well insulated, please give me a comment down below. Let me know. I'm a desperate man, willing to try just about anything at this point. So be sure you guys like the video, share it with all your friends, other people who are into the farm life, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.